Hi, I'm Laurie Maycumber, Content Director for Local Marketing Institute. We're lucky to be speaking today with Myles Anderson, founder and CEO of BrightLocal, a company that provides unique and useful SEO tools for marketing agencies and for local businesses. Welcome, Myles.
Hi, Laurie. How are you doing?
I'm great. My first question is, how did BrightLocal begin?
So BrightLocal was formed back in 2009. We started off life as a local SEO agency, working with a number of clients in and around London in the UK. But we very quickly realized that there was an opportunity for us to create some kind of automated reporting and data aggregation tools, which would help local agencies such as ourselves, because we were struggling with the kind of weight of day-to-day tasks, such as finding citations, tracking listings, doing audits and sales reports for customers, and there weren't any tools that were tailor-made for kind of local search sort of specialists like we were. So we set about building some tools ourselves, and then realized that these tools had value to other people who were in a similar situation to us, other agencies. So that was kind of the pivot point of BrightLocal, which is in around 2010, when we started to really just focus solely on building out the range and the depth of the tools that we wanted to provide. And today we have 7 tools covering everything from rank tracking, both kind of local rank tracking and also organic, through to citations, through to reviews, citation building, Google Plus tracking. So I think we have the most unique and comprehensive tool set that focuses purely on local search anywhere in the world.
Local search is so important. There are other popular solutions on the market for local business owners. For example, Moz, Yext, Whitespark. What sets BrightLocal apart? What's your unique approach?
I think each tool has their own merits and downsides. In terms of what sets BrightLocal apart, I think it's 2 things. One, I think it's the breadth and the depth of what we offer. So we have 7 tools within our tool set. So we are, I think, the most comprehensive provider of local search-focused tools. The second thing I think that sets us apart is our kind of dedication to customer service. It's our belief that just having good software on its own isn't enough. You need to have great service so that people who do have a unique situation or have specific questions get fast, prompt, and detailed and accurate answers to their questions.
And how do you do on customer support, given that you're in the UK?
Well, actually, almost, I think 90 to 95% of our customers are in America. So we're very much geared to the kind of US market, and you'll notice that in various ways, one of which is the way we spell things, and being a Brit, we have slightly different spellings of keywords. And the other thing is we also have a US-based representative, Lauren, he's awesome. She provides customer support. She does live demos. We also have a guy called Mike based over here in the UK who works US office hours. So he works pretty much all day up until about 4 p.m. PST time. So we're pretty well covered from the time zone perspective.
Talking about America, does Rank Checker account for the fact that a local business's prospects might not be searching from the region in which he is trying to get his search rankings?
Sure. So very simply, you can set a search location on a report, and that's done through essentially it can be done on Google and Bing because they provide a service to set a search location. And so what it essentially means is when you're adding a kind of ranking report to your account, you choose the search terms you want. In those search terms, you can either include, say, the zip code or the city name that you want to target, or you can just put the search term, let's say plumber, and then in the search location, you can set the location that you want to pretend you're searching from. So say if you're a local business and the typical catchment area for local business is roughly around sort of 15 minutes. So you may say put your town name if you're in a small town, or if you're in a big city and you've got a specific zip code that you're really focused on or a particular neighborhood, you can use that as your search location. And then what that does in your report is it essentially mimics where a searcher who's based in that location is from and what they would see.
Excellent. On a similar route, we hear of businesses wanting to rank, whether it's on maps or on organic search results, for places that they don't actually have a location. So is your advice for them to build a location landing page on their website? or to actually acquire a mailbox in that town, or just give up and buy their way to happiness on pay-per-click on Google?
This is probably the most thorny question and the biggest question that SEOs get asked. There are various ways that you can do it, and I'll kind of list out what I think is the right way to do it. Definitely build a location page on your website for a specific area. If you genuinely provide a service in that area, then you should build a location page on your website. There's no restriction in doing that. There are no kind of Google guidelines around doing that. And when you create that page, you need to kind of couple it with product terms. So let's say plumber is a product term, and then the name of the town or the name of the neighborhood that you want to rank in. And if you've got multiple services, you could even consider about building out multiple location pages for each of the different services you've got. A key thing to make sure you don't do is just essentially cookie cut each page and change the name of the town. Very quickly, looks like duplicate content to Google, and that can get you penalized. Right. So what you need to do is you need to truly localize those particular pages. You need to get kind of local images. You need to kind of put good local sort of anchor text or alt text behind those images. And you want to try and add things like specific driving directions or landmarks or things that are very kind of unique to a particular location. So Google doesn't look at it and think, hey, that guy's just copied page A into page B. I'm not going to give him any credit for that. You need to put a little bit more effort into it and create those pages. But it's definitely something worth doing. Like I said, that can have a very big help in getting you to rank within the organic search results within Google. Now, if you want to get into the kind of maps results and the kind of snack three kind of maps listings you get at the top, then what you need to do there is you need to actually have a Google My Business profile for each of the locations that you have, and for each, and therefore you need a location in each of the cities that you want to appear within the search results. Google has got much tighter in terms of essentially its local radius within which it will serve results from. So if you're in town A, and then you've got town B that's 10 miles away, but you're located in town B, Google may show you results for you for people who are based in town A, unless there are lots of competitors to you in town A that are of pretty decent quality. If there are, then Google is going to serve those because they have kind of that tighter proximity to the person who's searching than your business does. And if you think about what the essence of Google Maps is, it's about providing local data, local information to local searchers. So if Google has the ability to serve good local results to a searcher, it's going to do that before it serves results from further away.
So what's a business to do? Do they need to move closer and closer to the epicenter of the town?
You know what? An annoying answer is that would be great, but that's not going to happen. So the options that are open to you is if you want to rank in a different town or city, find a way to get an address there. Try and find a way to open a branch or to open a small office, either in a serviced office building can sometimes work these days. What you don't want to do is be opening something like, or getting like a US Postal Service box. Google has really clamped down on actions like that. And again, you have to think from Google's perspective. They want to serve genuine local results. So you've got to find a way to make yourself as genuinely local as you can do. And that does mean trying to find some way to get a local address. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, actually, who lives and works near me here. He's a personal trainer, so he's just sort of starting up his own business. And he's got the place where he lives, which is in the town that we're based in. Then he's got a gym that he trains from about 10 miles away. So obviously his primary location is where he lives, but he's got this gym. Now he's using the gym's address. He's got a new phone number, but the gym has allowed him to use that address to create essentially a new Google My Business listing and then new citations for the area that he serves. So that's one way of he was using the contacts and relationships that he had. Other people I know have done things such as they've gone and kind of rented a small office premises, or they have some service area businesses may have agents working in different towns. They're using the home address of the agents. Not such an advisable idea, but it's something that is a possibility, particularly for service area businesses to use. And by service area businesses, I mean businesses where customers don't come to you. Obviously, if you're a cafe or let's say a wedding venue, you can't essentially have a fake location or a kind of essentially a dummy location somewhere, because people actually come to your store and come to your premises. But if you are, say, a personal trainer, or if you are a plumber, or if you are a gardener, essentially a service that is done at the premises of the customer, then you've got more scope for making use of these opportunities to create additional locations. But I think the good thing to think about is, or to keep in your mind, is Google is always getting smarter and smarter about clamping down on sort of fake locations. So things like service offices are fine, but it's a virtual office. They're getting smarter at things like that. If you're the sort of business that would often have a signpost on a street, or some of that, if a Google car was to go past, or a Google representative was to go past, they'd be able to see your business there, and then you're not there, then that would count against you. If you're more of an office-based business, then you might be a suite in a larger office. That's easier for you. A key thing is having a unique local phone number. So if you are going to go and rent an office space or get a sort of shared office space, don't use the same phone number as they're already using. That'll count against you. Get your own phone number and have that kind of forwarded to the number that you access, whether it's your cell phone number or your main office number.
Perfect. That's wonderful. Okay. On your screen is the rank checker. Can you do 2 minutes on checking a rank?
Yeah, very quickly. So we have a number of tools listed across the top here. You get a 30-day free trial, by the way, if you want to kind of take action from this, and you get access to all these 7 tools within your free trial. We're just going to focus on the rank checker as our kind of key tool, or kind of primary tool here. I'm going to look at a result or a report that was run on Tuesday of this week for a plumbing company. I also seem to pick plumbing, and they are based in Chicago, called Bethke and Son. So I'm going to click on viewing a report here and just show you the kind of breadth of the rankings that we can rank checking that we can offer. So what I'm doing is I'm comparing a report we ran on the 16th of February with a report that we ran on the 9th of February, so that I can see week to week how things are changing. I get a summary here that shows me that 9 of my search terms have gone up, 6 have gone down, 29 have stayed the same, so no change, 6 are now appearing in the top 50 results, and 2 have actually dropped out. And then below that, I get more of a breakdown by each of the different search engines that we track. So you've got Google, and you've got Google Maps, you've got Yahoo, Yahoo Local, Bing, and Bing Local, and we're actually about to bring out Google Mobile, probably by the middle of next week. We're adding Google Mobile to that. Now, if I scroll down to the kind of full report below, what I see across the top is all the 6 search engines. So you've got Google through to Bing Local. Down the left, I've got the search terms. You've got plumber, plumbing company, Chicago plumber. Now, what's interesting here is this is a local business. They're a plumber in Chicago. But for the search term just plumber, we can see that in Google, they're ranking in position 2. But the search term itself is just plumber. And that's because up here, I've set the search location as Chicago, Illinois. So we talked a little bit earlier about setting a search location. That's what I've done here, meaning that if a searcher in Chicago, Illinois just puts in plumber into Google, we can actually see how this business ranks in that particular scenario. Further down, we can see specifically the search term Chicago plumber. So you could do either or you can do both, depending on what your particular sort of preference is. Looking at this particular search term, what I can see in the Google column is that we've got 3 results. The first one is for a local result. The second one is for an organic result. And the third one is for third party. So what do we mean by that? What I can actually do is click on the number, open a pop-up, and what I've got is we take a screenshot of what we see. So we have a lot of people who say, hey, I don't see myself in the same position that your report does. So what you can do now is you can actually take a screenshot so that you can look back and say, it is actually appearing there. The reason why this happens is that people often get personalization of their results. So Google, if you use Google a lot, and say you have a Gmail account, say you're logged into Google, Google has a whole lot of history about you. It knows what you search for, it knows the sites you go to, and if you go to a site a lot yourself, then Google sees that site as kind of one of your favorites. So all these things can skew the search results that you get. Whereas in our particular sort of search engine, we're a bit more anonymous because we don't have the same search profile as you do. In fact, we have almost zero search profile by the way that we do things. So we're getting a much more vanilla set of results, which is akin to what your sort of potential customers will see. Now, if I click on this, it opens up essentially a screenshot, which I can click to enlarge. And what I see is a Chicago plumber. If I scroll down, I can see that John Bethker and Son Plumbing is appearing here. Now, this is in the local results or the snack pack. If I look back at the report, it says local result number 2 and a little B next to it. Now, what those two things mean is that we found you in the second result on the page, and that was a local result, and you were B in the local pack. So we count local pack as Roto-Rooter would be A, John Bethker and Plumbing would be B, Apex Plumbing would be C. Now, when you're looking at the results, although we ignore these paid results, we're just looking at what we call the kind of non-paid organic and local results, because these can't be influenced by paying for them. So we see that John Bethker is second on the page, but it's also in the local pack, which is why we mark that. But we also found you in 9th in the organic results. So if I count down the results here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Then we get to the organic results. We go in at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Here we have Bethker Plumbing. So we don't just capture the highest result you get, we capture all the results where we find you in the search results. A great example of that is if I scroll down further to something like this search term, which is a branded search term for John Bethker and Son Plumbing. What I can see is we found you loads and loads of times, we call third-party results. If I hover over here, it says, we found your business mentioned in the search result for super pages. So this is where Google has indexed super pages and found your business, and that's now appearing in the search results. And because it's a branded search term, we can also see you in YouTube, Yellow Pages, Judy's Book, and Manta. So we give you a much fuller picture of your search visibility. And it's not just your website, it's not just your local result. You get your local result, organic, and also these third-party results rolled in together. You can also view these on a map, on a chart. So if I click on the chart image here, I can see Chicago Plumbing, and I can see the results here. We play around with these reports quite a lot, so there's a little bit of sort of volatility in them. But I can see that you've had really sort of steady kind of Google Maps performance. Your Google performance has also been pretty steady. Look at the chart below. And you can look at this for each of the individual search terms that you have in your report. If you want to get a sense of how your whole campaign is doing across all the different search terms that you have, if you look at the aggregate ranking chart, this essentially clusters all your results for all the search terms into one chart. And it shows you in the yellow how many search terms are appearing in the first position. In the kind of greeny line, you've got positions 2 through to 5, and you've got 6 to 10 going down to 50 plus. So over time, what this is telling me is that actually there are less search terms appearing in positions 2 to 5. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. I'm sorry about that. I think we've added in some additional search terms. But essentially, you can see the trend in your search performance. And obviously, what you want to be seeing is more and more search terms getting into the first position, the yellow block, more and more search terms getting into the green block, and less search terms in the kind of blue blocks below. That would show that you're getting much better rankings overall over time. You can also see how you fare against competitors. And here I'm looking at John Bethker and Son Plumbing against power plumbing and sewer contractors, and I can see where I'm ranking and they're not, and that gives you a chance to see if they're outranking you for any particular terms. You can see which pages they're ranking for. So if I click here, I can go to view the landing page on power plumbing. It's their home page, so I can start to see if they're ranking for the search term Chicago Plumbing better than I am. What can I learn from their page that will help me to improve my own page? For example, which search terms they're using, how they're using those search terms. That gives you insights so that you can actually go back and make similar improvements to your own website.
Excellent. I have one last question. First of all, you mentioned that they can have a free trial, and I would like to direct them to this URL, localmarketinginstitute.com/BrightLocal.
Okay, so that will take your users through to us. They get a 30-day free trial. We also offer free live demos. So if you've got any questions about the service, or you want to just jump on a quick online chat with one of our representatives, a real person, done live one-to-one for you, then you can kind of book yourself in for that, and we can just kind of make sure that we answer all the kind of main questions that you've got and work through any of the kind of tools that you have a particular interest in.
Fantastic. Parting words. If you had to advise a local business owner where to best spend his or her limited funds on marketing, what would it be on? Would it be on optimizing their website, getting links to their website, working on their citations, getting reviews on various listings, using pay-per-click?
But I think there are a few core things that a local business owner should do as hygiene factors to give them, if not immediate success or quick success, the bedrock for future success. And I think the key thing is starts with your website. Is making sure that your website has a lot of good information about the services you offer. It's got specific landing pages for the services you offer, and also location pages. We're actually about to publish some survey findings today, which talk about what local consumers expect from a local business website, and what influences their decision on whether to actually contact a business. And the key thing that comes out of it is that local consumers want just simple information. They want to know about what you do, the services you offer. They want to know where you're located, so they can come and visit you. They want to know, what you cost, so they know they can afford your services. They want your phone number, so they can contact you, and they also want to know your opening hours, so they know when they can come and visit you. So, from that sense, it's very functional, very simple, quite straightforward, obvious information that they want. So when you're designing a site and working out what to put in it, make sure that you focus on the simple things and the basic things first, and don't get bogged down in, say, the minutiae of the color scheme that you use, or whether an image should be portrait or landscape. Just get the main information on there, and you'll have kind of won a lot of the battles by giving the most important information to consumers up front. I think you also need to kind of build out the website for all the different landing pages and locations and services you've got. That gives Google a lot more clear information you've got about you and about what you offer. Make sure that your address is consistent on there. Once you've got that, obviously you can transfer that to your Google My Business listing. You need a Google My Business listing to compete or actually to kind of get into the local results at all. So if you haven't got a Google My Business listing, you need to get one. You need to make sure that the NAP, the NAP information, is the same as you've got on your own website. And you need to make sure that you build it out with as many photos, a complete description, your working hours, whatever sort of service area you cover. Make sure that your map pin is in the correct place. That's not a big task, but a lot of people kind of get it wrong because they maybe don't give it as much attention and focus as it needs, and we do it in a slightly hurried way. So take a little bit of extra time and get that done. And that is a big tick in the box once you've done it. Then I would look at citations. And citations we talked about quite a lot. So make sure you've got more citations than your competitors is a simple rule of thumb. You can run a report on BrightLocal, looking at a citation tracker report. We've got something called the Google Plus Local Wizard, which is a great kind of benchmarking tool to see how you stack up against your local competitors. See how many citations they've got, how many you've got, and then look to go and get more than them. Simple rule of thumb is, SEO is relative. Are you relatively better in your SEO performance to your competitors? If yes, then you should rank higher. That's sort of a simple way of looking at it. From a citation perspective, look to get citations on good quality, high authority sites like Yelp and CitySearch before you start looking down at sort of smaller, less authoritative sites. Also try and get citations on good local sites like a local chamber of commerce or a local school or other local businesses that you might have an affiliation with. Those can be really powerful for telling Google exactly where you're located and that you're a significant local business. Once you've got citations, and let's say you've got all the competitors, you may not need to do any more in time. So essentially, you've got your Google My Business listing squared off and done. You've built all the citations you need on the highest quality sites. Once you get to the lower, smaller sites, the kind of return on the investment gets less and less and less. So you don't need to go and build 10,000 citations. Maybe 100 and 150 will do. Once you've got those done and they're complete and accurate, you shouldn't really have to do too much more to them until you say you change location or you add additional services when you may want to update them. Then I would focus on building some links to your website, good old-fashioned backlinks from other websites to you that are relevant to you. So they come from sites that are either a high authority or they are industry relevant to you, and link those through to either your homepage or to kind of specific product pages. Or if you start to write blog posts about your business, that's a great way of getting inbound links back to you. Links have been around forever and a day in terms of SEO terms. Some people are under the illusion that they're no longer important. They are very important still. In actual fact, they've gone up in importance for local businesses in the last 12 months and from 2014. So links are still important. Again, you need to work out how many links your competitors have and from how much authority they get from those links, and see if you can copy them. See if you can get links from the same websites that they've got links from. That could be someone like Yelp, where you can create a profile and get a link, or it could be from a local business group that might also be interested in linking to you. So see if you can kind of emulate and copy their links or find alternatives to them, and have a number in mind that you want to kind of aim for. And it's always good to have essentially a kind of an SEO roadmap in your head of how many citations you want to have and where you want to have them, how many links you want to get so that you're kind of on a level footing with your competitors. That gives you something to aim for. It also gives you something to stop at and kind of keep track on and check. Because you might find that once you do 2 or 3 of these things, you get a big boost in rankings, and therefore maybe you don't need to invest so much in the 4th, 5th, and 6th actions. So that's where tracking your performance is so useful, because it gives you a good understanding of where on that journey you are.
Fantastic. That was such a good, succinct summary of what's needed from an SEO, search engine optimization point of view for local businesses. This has been a very fruitful interview. I thank you so much, Myles. I would tell our audience again, go to localmarketinginstitute.com/BrightLocal to have your 30-day trial. Thank you, Myles.
Thank you for having me, Laura. Really enjoyed it.